What do you do there? Tell me just what takes place there.
We focus on the new infrastructure that has to be deployed nationally to enable what we say is the digital age for autonomy. So how do we activate autonomous trucks and vans and cars and advanced services within our communities?
It's so crazy what's going on in our country, today, and just, security and what have you. What just kind of give me a general view on what you would do day to day and what you're looking at.
Working with large infrastructure investors to basically solve the issue that we've had with broadband. I think all of us understand that broadband has become a very critical piece of our society. That has to be rolled out effectively, and it has to be in a situation that it can be upgraded consistently over time. And then things like Vision Zero. A lot of people have been hearing about Vision Zero, which is how can we reduce the fatalities that happen on our roadways. And the most important is supply chain logistics. Yeah, COVID has actually educated everybody when people lost their toilet paper, what a supply chain is. And YTexas is because Texas is leading the charge on how do we solve those complex challenges and how do we just make America more resilient.
Funny you say that COVID did this. I didn't know there was anything positive about COVID, but there is one thing then, huh? That's great, about toilet paper.
Broadband and supply chains. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Texas. First of all, let's talk about YTexas and just what brought you here today and what you think of this organization that's almost 10 years old.
I think what Ed has built on all the leaders that have been involved is something that not only Texas needs, but the nation needs. And I think the fantastic message of getting out, why is Texas doing it right? Why are people coming here? And then how do we get those companies that come here integrated in is something that I think he's done a fabulous job doing. We basically reached out to him 2.5 years ago, and it was immediate marriage of minds on what needs to be done in Texas.
Interesting. You said you're down in Austin, the state capital, but you've been here over 4 decades, 42 years. That's amazing. And so I just wondered, in that time period, did you feel the same way about the state of Texas that you do now? Because I came here, believe it or not, 41 years ago, and right out of college, and I thought, wow, this is great. And every year I've seen the state of Texas be even better to me and my family as to what I'm looking for in life. Your thoughts on that?
100%. I would say that I began my career in enterprise software, and software was the leading thing in my life for 30 years. And Silicon Valley was the thing that even Texas looked to. What I see is where Detroit led the whole world on all things automotive. Silicon Valley for the last 60 years led all things software and digital. Texas is going to lead and become the epicenter of the future with everything Industry 4.0, where how do we marry the incredible things of technology with the physical world? Because there's one state that loves to build and drill and solve complex challenges, and that's the state of Texas. So I think the epicenter is going to, I think all of us have realized epicenter is already here. People are moving here so quickly to basically embrace the values that Texas stands for: community, families, and basically rolling up our sleeves and doing the hard work.
That was a great answer. That was very good. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you'd like to share about just this whole experience?
I'm going to stress that intelligent infrastructure, not many people know what it is, but people have to reach out and learn about it, because believe it or not, it took 7 years for Edison back in the late 1800s to convince people what electricity was. They were holding their whale-filled lantern, but intelligent infrastructure is impactful to our nation as electricity and the interstate highways, and Texas needs to take the lead and be the first state to deploy it at scale.